handling header and footer. So how to handle header and footer? Basically, we saw so header we already saw how to handle header. Option dot option header we give it as true, that will handle the header. Now let's say if there are footer and we want to skip the last 3 rows, so here I'm getting 10,000 rows. Okay, so when reading, let's say if there is a footer, if there are footer in the CSV file and I want to skip those files, we could give footer here, and then since it's 10,000, let's see, I'm gonna skip 5,000 rows. The output should just be okay. What here? Okay. Basically, using this option, we should be able to do it, but somehow I'm not able to do it. Okay, let me try again. Option.
So,
Footer.
question,
Yeah.
others. So all these APIs that you're calling, right? Options, Spark.read, then a dot load. Where do I get an entire library of all those? Like, so I know how to apply.
Yeah. So you could search for PySpark code, and then you'll get the whole list. And that is one
You could
thing
what?
good.
Sorry, you kind of cut out.
PySpark code. This is the PySpark code that we are using
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So PySpark for Databricks, you could search and you'll get the entire library. That is one thing. Or all of the things I'll be giving here. Everything that I know and I use
Okay.
on a daily basis, I'll be giving here. So you should be good with this.
Okay.
And even in later session, we'll be discussing on Pandas library also.
Okay.
That's another language that we could interact with this thing with a notebook. So that also we will be seeing. Yeah, so this is how you do with footer, option footer, and give the number, and that will skip uh, the final few files. But somehow here I'm not able to do it. But this is how you do it. I'll check on this, and tomorrow I don't want to waste your time. I'll debug and then I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
So let's say similarly, if you want to skip the first few files, you could quickly skip rows. Yeah, so that worked. So here we had 28. I skipped the first 3 rows and we got 25. This is option to skip the first few rows. Okay. Now the next is to handle delimiter. To handle delimiter, what we could do is we have another option. So let's say if we have what a tabs if you have a tab separated file, so we could use spark.read dot, and in the option we could give delimiter, and then you could give the particular delimiter. Let's say if we have a tab separated file, give /t for the tab separated file. That is one way. Or instead of delimiter, there's a one more parameter that you could specify, which is set dot option set, and then set we could give a particular, even if it's line, we could give here. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that is about it, and then so the next thing is so in database mostly we will be dealing with Parquet files. So let's see the advantages of Parquet using Parquet files. So the first most important is it is columnar storage, and the to store it, it requires less space, and then accessing is also faster. Yeah.
Mm.
Then then we have compression in. We could specify the compression for the Parquet files. We have snappy compression, and snappy is one of the compression type that we use very often. So that you can specify, and that will further reduce the size of the data.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have encoding, and in encoding, that will increase the query performance, and also it will reduce the size of the file. And it supports predicate pushdown, like what we saw yesterday. Predicate pushdown and column pruning. You remember, right? Predicate pushdown is nothing but if you have a where clause in select.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that will be applied to the source, and we will only read the required columns. That is possible in Parquet 5. And column pruning. Column pruning also will only read the required columns. Yeah. So that is about it.